The word performative is having a little bit of a, dare I call it, a meteoric rise. I never thought I'd be hearing a word so much. I mean, this is probably the most this word has ever been used in the history of mankind. This word is everywhere. It started with the performative males. I think we might have had a discussion about that a little while ago, right? The guys with the earbuds and the matcha, and they listen to Claro and yada, yada, yada. Joan Didion somewhere was in there, I think maybe. You get the point, right? There was these performative guys. I'm sure you've seen the memes about that, right? But recently, this word has begun being used in, it's one of those words that gets picked up by the internet and just takes on connotations that it's spinning in circles, it's just wheeling out of control. And I think it's at this interesting point that a lot of words in this internet age end up getting to, where it's like this word is either about to become a word that is ingrained in popular consciousness to mean something that I'm about to pitch to you all here today, forever, or this word is going to mean nothing in a month. If it means nothing, this video is probably going to age terribly. If it means something, though, if it ends up kind of taking on this form that it's looking like it's taking on, I think it's going to be really interesting. I recently saw a post, and I've seen multiple posts in this vein, right? Like I saw somebody, like Letterboxd, where you rate those movies or whatever. Somebody posted that rating movies under 2 stars on Letterboxd is performative. Somebody posted that writing a review on Letterboxd is performative. I saw somebody post the other day that watching the intro of every episode of Twin Peaks is performative, right? Twin Peaks, the David Lynch show where that guy eats all those pies and then a girl goes missing, I think, somewhere in there too. All these things under this umbrella of performative. And I mean, the first two I kind of got, I was like, all right, I guess if they think your Letterboxd should be just for you, maybe, I don't know. I don't care about how people really use the platform Letterboxd, to be honest. I've never given it 2 seconds of thought. But I kind of get that, right? It's a social media of sorts, I suppose. Is Letterboxd social media? I don't know. There's an audience there. There's a hypothetical third party that you could be performing for. Watching the intro of Twin Peaks, I was like, well, I gotta say, I have never once been in a room with anyone when I watched the intro for Twin Peaks. Honestly, maybe they're on something, because I skipped that intro. I'm gonna be honest, I skipped that intro when I was watching that show. I was mostly in it for the pies that was going on. But I also saw, I've seen, I can go on forever about what I've been seeing about this word recently. But I've been seeing people say that if you rewatch movies, it's performative. Watching Taxi Driver is performative. I saw that was an interesting one. A lot of this stuff. And I think what's so interesting, one, they're all related to movies for some reason. Maybe that's just my feed. That could just totally be me. But two, this word means anything, right? This word is just wow. And in a lot of ways, I think that the reason I'm so interested in this word is because it could kind of only be used in this way right now. If I went back to 2020. If I went back to 2020 and told the guy, you're, what are you doing right now? You're what was everybody doing during 2020? They made that bread. You're baking bread. You're being performative with that bread you're baking. You guys remember that bread that everyone was making for a while? If I was you're being performative by baking this bread, and it was just some guy in his kitchen in his underwear baking this bread. Baking this bread. That's a tough sentence. Baking this bread. Baking this bread. Baking this bed. Breaking this bed. Whoa. Gonna back off that one. If I did that to somebody, they'd be like, what are you? What are you? It wouldn't even be an insult. It's weird that it's starting to be used as an insult, and I think it could only kind of happen right now, because what somebody's saying when they're saying you're being performative is they are inferring that somewhere in the mix here, somewhere in the whole shebang is a hypothetical third party that you are performing for. Now, it's interesting to note that in a lot of these scenarios, there's no third party, right? And when this guy's putting his bread in the oven in the kitchen, there is no third party to watch that happen. When somebody is skipping the intro to their favorite show, or maybe their least favorite show, I don't know what you guys think about Twin Peaks. There's nobody there to see that unless you're watching with friends, which it's not really a show you watch with friends. I don't think people really watch. I don't think people who watch Twin Peaks have friends, I didn't have friends when I was watching that show. Nobody should. a lot of these don't have a third party, and that's interesting then, that something that lacks third party is being used in this way, isn't it? Like, it's kind of weird. Who are you performing for? And that is where I think this gets interesting. There is the fact that we can use this word and like kind of vaguely know what it means, right? We understand that we know what it means because, like if you were to say, if I'm to say, you're being performative to one of my friends when they're doing something, what I'm kind of trying to get across is that you, out of a certain insecurity maybe, or just because you want to seem cool, are doing something that you wouldn't otherwise do for some hypothetical viewer here, right? And the hypothetical viewer is the most important part of that, right? Because in any other context, in any other day and age, what we would have referred to this as is simply trying to be cool, trying too hard, we could say, right? And if this was still in the same vein as that famous phrase, trying too hard. I mean, back when I was a kid, if you got called like a try-hard, that was like the, oh my God, that would scathe you, that would burn you. So one time somebody called me a try-hard, and I stopped trying for weeks. Because that was a scathing critique when I was younger, right? And in this regard, I think it's interesting that we've switched now to this place where, like, not only are we talking about people trying too hard or doing too much, but what we're also inferring is that they're doing too much for another person, right? And this implication of a secret viewer that they're trying to impress is a uniquely 2025 kind of aspect to it, right? It's a unique thing. It's a really strange development when you think about it. So, why do I think this is important? Well, a lot of our insults now revolve around that, right? Or revolve around the implication that you're doing something for a third party. Or rather that you're going to be perceived by a third party. And that's really weird, because why are we doing that? Like, why? I mean, I don't have a fancy way to even put that. Just like, why are we doing that? Why are we revolving insults around this hypothetical third party that in most cases doesn't even exist? I mean, listen, I make videos here on the internet. I can't say I'm not performing every day in this tan cube, right? But I mean, I know most of my day is not perceived by anybody. You know, I mean, I go on a call for a good amount of when I'm working. I'm on a call, so I guess I'm being perceived then. See friends a couple times a week. I'm being perceived then. I'll call a friend many nights, being perceived then. Outside of that, I mean, I'm just not being perceived. I'm not acting as if I am being perceived, you know? But it seems like a lot of people aren't kind of clarifying that on-off switch, right? Maybe because I think there's also a culture around, I mean, there's so much to unpack here, right? This is where I think, this is kind of the portion of the video where I start handing you guys the baton a little bit, because there's more than I could ever hope to unpack in this video, right? There's the culture of constantly posting everything you're doing, like updates and stuff. Remember, like, I don't know if you guys remember this, in like 2011, it was like the funniest thing on earth to make a skit about how dumb white girl go to brunch and post her brunch on Instagram and then post her walk home on Instagram. This was the funniest thing on earth in 2011. The funniest thing you could do is make fun of, specifically it was always a white girl in these videos, and how she was putting hashtags on her post and going to brunch all the time and posting everything, right? And like, listen, I was on the front lines in 2011 laughing at these videos. I'm no better. And it's funny how that's all of us now. I mean, not all of us. I don't know why I'm throwing a we in there. Listen, do I post? Yeah. I'm in this cube for 20 minutes a day and I'm out. And you would never catch me doing more than that. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be 100% real with you guys. I love doing this. I found a medium that works for me. Like, cause this is fun. This is a lot of fun. I love painting, I love talking. It's the two parts of the show that I love. Lucky for me, they're the only two parts of the show. And editing. That part's off camera though. You would never catch me doing more. I could never get on stream, at least at this point in my life. I could never post a hashtag, also at this point in my life. Hashtags you see, I don't do those. I don't do those hashtags. I have a bot. It's a bot that does those hashtags. Because outside of producing some quality here, I have no interest in producing it anywhere else. I am not about to commodify myself. I'm gonna be real with you all. This isn't me trying to like, I'm not trying to do a bit, like this is 100% how I feel about these things, right? I think that a lot of people though, and it's interesting, I know people who post Like, I am more serious about what I do when I produce these 20 minutes of content than a lot of people I know in my personal life who post much more than me, right? I take this more seriously, and yet I think about it less, I revolve my life around it less, and I overall am more detached, right? And I don't mean to be, one, I feel like I'm doing kind of a, not only am I doing like a self-review in this video at this point, I'm also like, kind of like glazing myself a little bit. I don't mean to do that at all. But I do think it's interesting how much this culture of I don't know if I want to call it a culture of performing, because it's not. Because most of the time, when people are acting this way, they're not actually performing. They're just like, it's more so the idea that there's always a third person watching. And that's why I want to remove this from people, right? Because I think it's interesting. We all made fun of white girl go to brunch and post on Instagram back in 2011, right? At least I did. I was in the front lines, like I said. But that's become everyone. And I don't think it's become everyone because of like everybody was like, man, this brunch is cool. It's become everyone while nobody was even talking about it. And I think because I would like to pitch the idea to you that these memes that were coming out in 2011, right? I think it's the reason I keep mentioning the demographic of these is because I think it was the first demographic of where this was targeted, right? Of like, I'm gonna go on a limb here and say like between 15 and 25-year-old middle-class women were like the target for social media for a long time. That's who was using Facebook when it really came out, if you look at that. And then like when Instagram came out, and I guess kind of makes sense, you know, like that's the demographic that like fashion and modeling targets, makeup. You know, if you care about that stuff, cool, you want to take photos of it and post it, right? That makes sense. This is why those videos were always making fun of these people, right? At least the way I remember them. However, I do think that part of now we're all the demographic, right? That was just the first one. And everybody was sitting from the outside going like, ah, ha, ha, ha. Like, these people post too much and they document every point in their life. Now, we're all documenting it. It's not because, and I think we all owe these people we were making fun of in 2011 an apology, because they were not people perpetuating a new trend. Rather, I believe that they were people who were first targeted by this market and were rather the first ones that were, maybe they were even ahead of the curve, because they were just the ones who first posted. And now all of us post, not because we want to, and we all act like we're in, you know, a celebrity waiting to be paparazzi'd. Once again, not because we want to, but rather because we don't know if there's a hypothetical third audience. People have cameras everywhere. There's a very high amount of plausibility that there are videos of me out there that I don't know are out there. You know, just me not like doing anything scandalous. I said that as if I'm like, have videos of me like caught in my room at 3 a.m. That's not what I'm saying at all. Videos of me just like in an airport, right? I'm in the background of some video. I mean, remember when that guy, I forget who, it was the guy who like, he did a bang bang, right? I mean, I don't know if you can really say what he did, but he did a bang bang and everybody shot, whoa, Freudian slip there. He did a bang bang and then he got caught. This was around this time last year, actually. And like, it's the first thing, like anybody now that does a crime, their social media got dug up. His social media got dug up. And so many people were like, oh my God, he was in the background of this photo from 2012. He was in the background of this photo from 2011. Oh my God, I was a white girl posting brunch and he was at the brunch table. You know, so many of these things. So much of that was so interesting because like, this guy didn't know he was like, he's probably sitting in prison right now, like, really? Oh, that photo, man, I don't even remember that day. You know, and so many photos of all of us exist like that. So why wouldn't you be performing all the time if you know you could be? And even past that, algorithms are watching us. You know, this video is being used to figure out what you're gonna want on your Christmas list. I don't know, guys. There's a lot out there. It all comes back to data at the end of the day. Me and my friend were talking about this today. It's all about data. This is the painting, sort of a boom boom kind of thing here, bang bang, if you will. Yeah, cool stuff. Cool. 2 more in this color palette, and then we're moving on. So, wow, this is getting into too much of that today. Check this out on the TikTok and the Instagram, and until next time, guys, gals, and pals, my name is Max Tyson, Paint Tech 331, and I'm here every morning, painting and talking with you all.